Hey guys, welcome back to the Snapper Chronicles. We're coming back at you with another Ratchet video, and we're kind of keeping with the series of Gearwrench. The last couple of Ratchet videos we did Apex Gearwrench stuff. We did the 90 tooth Gearwrench, and we did the 90 tooth Quinn, which is pretty much a copy of the Gearwrench made by Apex for Harbor Freight. So now we're moving up to the 120 XP series of ratchets by Gearwrench, and here is a 1/2-inch drive example. And just by the way, I want to say thank you to all my followers and my viewers out there, and all you guys who subscribed. And I did reach my 2,000 subscriber goal that I was trying to reach for a while now, and I finally did reach it with the last video. So I want to thank you guys again for that, and remember that I'm accepting subscriptions as Christmas gifts. Yes, if you want to give me the gift of a subscription, I will accept that, and it'll be the cheapest gift you probably give this whole holiday season, since it's absolutely free to hit that subscribe button. Alright, so let's jump into this. Here is the Gearwrench, the 120 XP. The 120, it looks like it's laser etched there. Everything else looks engraved except for the XP. And the model on this is the 81304P, and it has like a little symbol there by the side. Looks like a Q. Looks to me like a Q at least. And this is just the straight metal grip, not the comfort or rubberish grip. This is just your regular model. This one's a little bit worse for wear. A lot of scratches, missing chrome in places. You see this. It's let's say it's well used as a ratchet. And over here on the switch itself, you see a 3-degree. I guess that's the 3-degree of swing that a 120 tooth ratchet gives you. Yeah. So let's open it up and see what we find inside. And this one is just like the other ones in pretty much in the whole Gearwrench series. It has a ring, and it has the paper thin plate. And also it's has the O-ring. This is they call it a sealed ratchet. So here's the paper thin plate again that these ratchets pretty much all use. And here is the rubber O-ring. It sits around the anvil. See that channel in the anvil that goes around? It kind of just, you just drop it in there and it sits in there like that, and that helps to keep the debris out of the side or the anvil side of the ratchet from getting in. And this one has, you won't be able to see it until I take it out. This one has 2 pawls. It doesn't actually have 120 teeth on the gear. Let me remove the gear. What I do when I remove this gear is I press the pawls together that way, so they won't really kind of jump out when I remove the gear. See, if I wouldn't have done that, see how far up they go? If I would have just popped out the gear, these pawls would have just went flying all over the place, kind of because there is a decent amount of spring tension under the plungers. So see how they sit? That's about how they sit when there's no gear in there. And to put them back together, I'm going to show you also, you're going to have to hold it down. If not, it's going to be very difficult to put these back together. And here are the gears. There's a gear front. This one says 12T. I guess that's abbreviation for 120 teeth. The gears have to go in this order. They're not interchangeable. You can't put this gear back there. I don't think so, because they kind of shaped a little bit different. There's the front, and here is the back gear. And this one, if you flip it around, it says 12B. So I guess 120B. This B, I'm guessing it's the B pawl or the second pawl. And here is the switch, and here are the plungers. There are two plungers, one under each pawl. And there's that plunger and the spring. The plungers are hollow. You see here, they're hollow. They're kind of long. The springs are a little bit long also. The springs look like. Okay, then there's the switch. The switch you got to push out. It comes out through the front. Be careful. There's also a plunger underneath the switch. So there are 3 plungers all together in this ratchet. And I think they're pretty much interchangeable. These plungers, they look all the same. Okay, so here's a look inside the mechanism. This is a pretty heavy duty ratchet. It feels heavy. Doesn't feel like a weak ratchet. It seems pretty heavy duty to me. The metal here is all thick, all around, all up here. This is pretty thick metal, so I don't think this was really made to be used delicately. There's the broaching, looks good. Everything looks really clean. Nice job they did cutting this out. Here's a look from the front. And yeah, so to get this one back together, I would take the plunger that goes underneath the switch here. That's the hole for it down there. And I would get that in like that. Then take your switch. Remember, orient your switch correctly, that the holes are pointed up. You don't want to put it upside down like this and then stick it in, because that plunger might get stuck inside those holes. So make sure they're pointing up like that. Oh, one other thing is that this also has a rubber O-ring. You see it right here. That part right there that goes around, that's the O-ring that protects the front of the switch from debris. And make sure you put that in there. And over here is going to hit the plunger, and then you just push down the plunger and push in on the switch all the way. Like this. Now you take your 2 plungers and one goes in the back of the switch like that, and then let me put the spring inside this plunger. Okay, now you take this one and you put this one in the hole in the front, in the switch, just like that. Now you take, let me show. The pawls. I didn't show the differences in the pawls. This is the front one, and this one is the rear one. And you can see the front one has the 1-2T, and it has like a deeper cutout here in the front. You see how this cut out, and the back one has like a smaller cutout here. See how this one is a big cutout, and then you have this smaller cutout here. So it should look like this when you put it on, the 1-2T facing out, and the 1-2B against the back of the inside, like that. So sandwiched, it should look like that when it goes in. And here's a look at the teeth. And actually the gear is not 120 teeth, like I said. It's actually 60 teeth. And there these two opposing gear pawls, Ratchet, on the 60, they double the positions. So it gives you 120 positions, but there's only 60 teeth on the gear itself. Like I said, these go in sandwiched like that, and sitting on the plungers. Okay, and here's a look at the gear. This is what the teeth look like. The Ratchet looks pretty good inside. Outside it's a little bit messed up, a little scratched up and worn, but the insides look pretty good. The teeth look pretty nice. Okay, and to get the gear back in, what I do is I squeeze these down, and then I pinch it with my finger there, holding them kind of down. But you want to leave enough room where you don't want to get your finger in the way. You want to leave enough room where you can drop the gear in. So it's seats like that, and this is what it looks like when it's ratcheting. You see, I don't know if you're going to be able to see the pawl and the back, but see, it's like one engages, then the next one engages. The front pawl engages, the back engages. You see the little movement in the back there? Then the front, and then the rear. Front, rear. That's how you get 120 positions out of 60 teeth, or 60 tooth ratchet. But I kind of like this better than just 120 teeth on a gear, because if you had 120 teeth, which some ratchets do that, they'll put 120 teeth, over 100 teeth on the gear itself, and the teeth will be tiny. And I just feel like that's not so great, because it's these tiny teeth, and you have over like 120 of them. Even if the pawl is big or has a lot of teeth on it, I just don't feel that comfortable with teeth that tiny on a ratchet, regardless of what the pawl looks like. This makes better sense to me. These two pawls, which they're not that thick because there's two of them, but still there's a lot more room to grab on to these teeth, which are a lot bigger than they would be otherwise if they were like 100 plus teeth on the gear. I hope that made sense. Anyhow, so you put your O-ring back in the channel there of the gear. Take your plate, just drop that in. Take your ring. Make sure it clicks in place, and now you just gotta test it out and switch it. Yep, it seems to be working just fine. Alright guys, so that's the teardown and the mechanism of the Gearwrench 120 XP model, and this one happens to be the 81304P. So my opinion, it's pretty good ratchet. Seems pretty beefy, pretty heavy duty. These seem to have a good reputation, so I think they're okay by me. Alright guys, until next time.